Hello and welcome to the Anime Dumpster Dive Podcast, where we go in-depth on an anime deemed bad by the anime-watching community. Just how fucked up can this anime get? Let's dive on into it. I'm your host, and guy looking around for his lost missing sister, Jake H. I am joined by my co-host and yandere, DJ.
I'm the yandere!
Yeah,
I thought I was going to be the pervert teacher.
I mean...
I'd put money on you made me the pervert teacher. Awesome! I'm excited.
Uh-oh. I don't like my options.
And joining us on this podcast is our special guest and childhood friend of DJ's.
Oh, good. I got the normal one.
You got the normal character. And co-host of the Anime Ricochet podcast and co-founder of the Nerd Blaze, Kobe.
The Biggie Blaze is what we call it around here.
I've heard no one call it that. Hi, thanks for having me. I got him choking. Very happy to be here.
Definitely didn't just, you're just choking on some sweet candy because it's February. It's the month of love.
Right.
So we decided to watch a romance anime, which was Happy
Beautiful.
Sugar Life.
It was beautiful. It was so beautiful.
Full of love.
It had many different kinds of love in it. And speaking of kinds of love, how'd you guys spend your Valentine's Day? Since it's
That's Friday, right?
yeah.
We had a party at work, and my manager gave me this ice hole alcoholic beverage
Because you're an ice hole.
and candy. No, she gave them to everybody, and candy
You're not
and stuff.
special.
And I got a lot of candy. I got that balloon right there. Other than that,
Podcast
yeah, because this is a video podcast, so they can see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to imagine the balloon that you got, but trust us, it's epic in scope. It's like, think of the
Yes.
best balloon you've ever thought of in your life. This is 10 times better.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a pretty good day, and then I fell asleep once I got home. I was gonna do something, edit or something like that, or watch this anime, and then I fell asleep instead.
But he watched the anime eventually.
I did. I watched
Thank
it
goodness.
Saturday morning. I did watch it. You'll be able to tell. I'll say things that happened in it, so like you'll know.
You'll see. You'll all see.
You'll all see.
My Valentine's Day was good. I just drove back from Palm Springs, and that was basically it.
Oh, well.
So, what about you?
I watched the first ever anime camgirl show. Project Harmony, apparently, is a thing. I watched it.
Please tell us more.
It's
Yeah, I'm very interested.
are you familiar with like Kazuha A or whatever? She's like a anime character YouTuber.
Sure.
Like she plays
But no,
video
but
games
sure.
and she's
Oh,
like an anime character.
not at
There's a
all.
person who voices her. So this is essentially that, but on ChatterBait. It's super weird, but she already has like 100,000 Twitter followers in a week, and she made a ton of money. Like to the point where other cam girls are like tweeting
What the heck?
tweeting at ChatterBait to get the account banned
Is it no fair?
because it's not real.
What?
Because they're like, if this isn't a real person.
What's real to you?
It's real to me.
Yeah. So I had to check it out, and it was by far one of the weirdest things because she's voiced by like a English voice actress, and so it like I can't understand the anime YouTuber, but I can understand this one, and I'm just like, this is so freaking weird. And people and like she'll interact with the chat, like she'll do stuff because like she's live animated. So they'll be like, "Oh, touch your head," and she'll like touch her head and talk and stuff, and like make fun of people in the chat. It was so weird. It was one of the weirdest things I'd ever checked out.
Sounds like an awesome Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that, and then I
Interesting.
watched.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, I didn't. I watched Sonic the next day. So yeah, my Valentine's Day seems like it blew your guys' Valentine's Day out.
I know. I was just driving back from somewhere. I mean, now I'm just jealous. I want ice hole alcohol too.
And Sonic.
It was a good day. Like, I want to go back to that clinic real bad because they have parties and stuff. This girl made this baked good thing that was she called them truffles. They weren't truffles, but they were like chocolate covered brownies, like brownies rolled into balls in a chocolate ball form. They were delicious. They were amazing. I could have eaten 40 of them. I had 4
25.
instead. I wanted, to be
You want to be good.
normal, not myself.
Good move.
And yeah, it was good.
All right. Well, now that we broke some ice,
We got the pleasantries out
we
of
got
the
the
way.
pleasantries out of the way.
We all had a very romantic.
Let's get down to business. Kobe, how about you give us a synopsis of Happy Sugar Life?
Sure, happily. So Happy Sugar Life is just about a girl, she's in love. She can't be held responsible for her actions. I would say if I had to say, she has no underlying issues to address. But overall, I think she's certifiably cute and just like adorably obsessed. They say love makes you crazy, and therefore you can't call her crazy, because when you call her crazy, you're just calling her in love. Blam! I said blam.
Thanks, Kobe. That was a perfect description of this show and another.
Yep.
Which show? No, that was good.
Thank you. I was working on it all day.
No. No.
Yeah, when I first told Kobe to watch this show, I think it was like an hour after he started into it, he sent me that text.
Yeah, because that was 100% the thought that I got while watching this nuts anime.
Another thing you said, Kobe, was, what Doki Doki shit am I watching?
Yeah, I did say that.
And again, very similar to just how the aesthetic of this show is super similar to the later parts of Doki Doki Literature Club.
Mm-hmm.
Where it still kind of has this cutesy look to it, but then has these very dark scenes, as well as like very stylistic choices with stuff.
This one, I don't want to like spoil my review, but way better than the animes we usually watch. You're throwing Kobe the softballs, my man.
It's funny because as frequent listeners would know, like the three and me in the future, Anthony's not here.
Anthony's not going to listen to this.
I know. Anthony's not here because he is busy this month, so we're giving him a break. We're not piling on him. And I texted him. I was like, oh, yeah, Kobe's going to replace you for this podcast. We're watching Happy Sugar Life. And he goes, you motherfucker, if that's a good anime, I'm going to be pissed.
It was kind of a good... No, I mean...
You can't call this, like, the subject matter. You can't call it, like, good. But it's at least, it has merit to it. There's something underlying to it that makes it like, this is, there's something here.
What I was going to say is it's entertaining. And the previous anime that we watched on this was In Another World with a Smartphone, and as DJ can probably attest to this, it is just, that was boring, nothing happened. This, I didn't mind watching. Like,
it was so nothing. There was like nothing to talk about in that one.
Exactly. There was
it was okay. It wasn't like bad, but nothing happened.
Yeah. So let's talk character-wise, because it's going to be hard for us to really go in depth a lot into this without going into spoilers. But prior to that, character-wise, something personally for me it was kind of hard to find people to root for, but then there were some standouts that you kind of hoped good things would happen to them or that they would succeed. But for our main protagonist, whose name I really didn't get a hold of, Satu, yeah.
Three very different pronunciations from all of them.
Sato.
She's the Kroger brand Yuno Gasai, is what she is. She's not as good as Yuno. Hear that, Yuno? She's not as good as Yuno. And that's all I have to say about that.
Who's Yuno? What's Yuno from?
Yuno is from Future Diary.
OG, numero uno, Yandere.
Yeah, when you type in Yandere, you'll normally see Yuno Gasai. And, there's lines... if you haven't seen Future Diary, Kobe, you should check it out. It's
just for Yuno.
Just for Yuno.
The rest of it, but Yuno, great.
It's a good... So this is a legitimate recommendation, and not just, watch it because it's so bad.
No, it's like
it's an alright anime, and then Yuno's phenomenal. So there's that.
Very rarely does a show get carried by a single character the entire time. And that entire show is only carried when when Yuno's not on screen, you're kind of like, okay. But then she's on screen and she says something nuts, and you go,
And you're like, yeah.
You're like, I'm about it.
All right, okay.
I think it's the first episode that haunts me to this day of Yuno just sticking her, like, lifting up the mail slot, and her eyes are just staring through it. And I'm just like, like, I didn't like that. She just does crazy shit the entire time. It's great.
Sold.
Yeah, I thought that she's
my numero uno waifu.
But I thought Sato was interesting. I did like how the show would go more into her. Like, this is something I thought the show did good, was that every character kind of had layers of crazy. And as the show progressed, we went more into those layers. It wasn't like one character, I guess there was one character, the teacher, was just like a psychopath, disgusting human being. And, like, that was all. There was no reason behind it. Everyone else kind of had reasons.
And, like, everybody's a real asshole.
That's why it's like, so tough. Like, you introduce her, who's crazy. Like, she's like, oh, this is nuts. She's the bad guy. But then you get introduced to the world around her, and literally like, everybody else is, like,
is
much worse.
You're like, okay, I guess she's
you're like...
She's fine. She has some redeeming qualities.
There's a lot of unexplained stuff. Like, why is everyone an asshole? Like, just regardless of, a lot of factors, just everyone around this girl is an asshole. Like, there's really not many just nice people. And then the other one is, why does everybody like this little kid so much? I don't understand.
Well, only like two characters.
There's everyone's...
3 characters.
Well, some of their motivations of liking the little kid make sense, but then some of them are just like, all of it, they just look at the kid and they're like, well, you're the greatest. I just need you around me at all times. And I just don't understand it.
It's frightening as all hell watching these characters devolve. It's crazy because I think I sent Jake a message. What's his name? Tateo, the blonde guy?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot in between episodes that he was crazy too. So like he was like he did his crazy freak out like in episode 2, and then he did another freak out like later on. But then in the next episode when you see him, I'm just like, oh yeah, he's all acting all nice and stuff. I'm like, right, he's the one we're supposed to work for. Then he went on another patented freak out and was like, oh, I forgot, he's insane. Never mind, he's worse.
Well, I mean, like you talk about every character, and then it even goes to her like her coworker who's been in like 2 episodes, and then it's like, oh, her coworker's going to talk. Oh, her coworker's asking about her bag. Oh, okay.
Ah, she's
crazy too.
She's crazy too. Oh my god, she's crazy too. Who was the crazy? I guess I'm asking questions. Go ahead, Jake.
I mean, no, go ahead, please.
I was just saying, who's the craziest out of all of them?
The ant.
The ant.
Yeah, okay, the ant is
I agree.
Yeah, like, the ant's the craziest person.
I forgot all about her. Yeah, she's insane.
Thanks for bringing that one up, Jake. I almost forgot. Yeah, she is the craziest
person.
Sure.
What do you guys think of the opening? Because personally, for me, like, I know I've talked to openings before with Kobe, and I think even some on this podcast, but I really like it when the music and the visuals go well together. Like, they can be okay music and okay visuals, but if they work together, it becomes really cool to me. Mm-hmm. And that's how I felt about this. I thought the visuals by themselves were okay, and I thought the music was okay. But, like, I wouldn't listen to that song by itself, but I watched the opening every time just because I thought it was really neat. And
I liked it, yeah.
It's stuck in my head. One that is stood out. The one that I think that, like, in the middle episodes I stopped watching, then I went back to it. I liked the first part of it before it devolves into, like, the rap part of it.
Yeah, I don't like the mumbling, but I like the rest a lot.
Yeah. No. I can't remember how it goes. Remember, I liked it. It was nice.
Yeah, it was definitely different.
Really highlighted this love story.
Which is rare. Normally, I don't like the openings at all.
Brother is out there.
But this time I did. So, extra points.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't really watch any of the ending, the ending song, because Amazon Prime.
Amazon's a bitch.
Yeah, cuts it really quick.
It's so as soon as it starts, you have three seconds before the next episode starts.
I'd say the ending one isn't as good by like a significant portion amount.
I wouldn't know because Amazon is.
Yeah, I'm with Kobe. I'm like, I won't know. It starts 3 seconds in, and I'm watching the next episode.
And it's like, what if there's end credit sequences? And I try to go back and watch it, and it starts the episode from the start, and then I fast forward to the end, and then just immediately cuts to the next episode. It's like, fine, I guess, screw you. I'm not going to see if there's anything.
I think I only saw it the once, the one time, and I watched. I also only watched the opening a few times too. I'm not big on watching it every time.
Especially when you're binging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was watching In Another World with a Smartphone, I had somebody over and they were looking at it and they're like, this anime's so bad you can save time if you just skip the opening. And I go, yeah, but it's the only break I have from the bad quality of this anime. So I need to watch the opening.
As like a breather.
Yeah, it's like, this gives me a break. This lets me get up and do stuff. And then I can come back.
That one was.
Again, I'm glad we went to this one after that one because that was a rough one, and this one definitely had some piqued my interest.
It piqued my interest because of the first episode. Really, I mean, like the way that it started off, it had this really creepy atmosphere to it that I think really started it off with like a bang that got me involved. Like there were some cool shots that made me think of like Doki Doki it's like some of the shots of just like you see someone like creeping around in the background, like just or like one of the girls who's like eavesdropping, like just peeking in the darkness and like in the back and stuff, and it just creates this real atmosphere and this dread to it where you're just like, oh shit, like what is this anime? Like what's this going to turn into?
That's a very strong first episode too.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
It definitely makes you want to watch the next one right away, which never happens on this show either.
Normally, it's nothing carries it, and this anime it felt like took risk with certain parts of certain episodes with like style choices, to the point where I'll probably remember the opening to episode 8 and the ending to episode 9. The most out of this entire watch.
Don't know what you're talking about, but
I'll bring it up in spoilers.
But you'll bring it up later.
Yeah, because that is something I definitely want to talk about and see how you guys feel. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into spoilers now. So go ahead and skip ahead if you don't want to be spoiled. All right. The episode I was talking about was episode 8. With episode 8 is the one that's shot through the point of view of the painter.
Oh,
who we never see. Yeah, who she's like talking to. Who only speaks in like waveform.
What is going on? And it was so weird. Like I felt like I was watching like some David Lynch shit. Like those sounds and the 100%. Waveforms and stuff. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
There's no reason for it, like whatsoever. I was telling Jake, like this show doesn't deserve to be as artistic as like it didn't need to be as artistic 100%. As it like tries to be.
Yeah,
like it's so weird how it's like this is a really good stylistic choice. Like they could have done it the obvious way, where we just see a guy and we talk to him and they have their conversation. And she kills him, and where we know the outcome. But that's not what happens. It's just like this really interesting way to tell a story and to reveal information from the back to get to where we are. It's like, wow, good job, show. And I hate it. I feel so dirty complimenting the show because we should not be supporting the message behind the show.
I mean, absolutely.
It's a show that just like, oh, men suck? Why don't you love little kids instead? Like, I don't want to...
And everyone's like, I'm in agreement with her. I agree. Little kid, yes.
Yeah, man, old adults suck. And it's like, no. Everyone stop nodding along with her.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. It caught my attention and held me. That could have just been like a short film type deal, and I would have really loved it.
It reminded me of your other fantasies, like make a weird face and show me your panties. But much better.
But yeah.
Same idea, kind of.
Yeah, where it's different. And the other part I liked, the ending of episode 9, where she kills her friend.
Shoko?
Where she kills Shoko.
That one was good.
Yeah, where it just is music, and it's the poem about the bird, and you don't hear what they're saying, but they're like conveying it, and you're like, "Fuck!" Like,
Like
going
this is
on? What
who's
going
making this
on?
show?
I'm like, "What happened?"
There was some moments where, like, I not saved it, but they were very, very good. Like Kobe said it perfectly. They did not belong in this show. Like, for me to compare something to David Lynch is the highest of praise. The highest.
Oh, you like David Lynch films? You'll love Happy Sugar Line.
He just came out with this thing on fucking Netflix where
you don't know Jack
he's
or something?
interrogating a monkey.
For like
he's
17
insane.
minutes.
17 minutes of him interrogating a monkey about a murder. And the monkey speaks like a human.
And recommended
So
viewing
weird.
after that should be Happy Sugar Life.
Happy Sugar Life.
Fair
Exactly.
enough.
Yeah, that whole thing, because like where they flash back to killing Shoko and they say what it says about just like I kind of forgive. What did she say? She ended up something like I forgive you, like I know who you are, so I'm gonna go now. And then, or how did that scene play out? I forgot.
She tells her, I'm not going to... Well, you only hear, like, the last couple words. But after she kills her, she says, I didn't believe you that you said you weren't going to go to the police. So she clearly told her, I'm not going to go to the police. And she didn't fucking believe her anyway, so...
Yeah, she said something like along the lines of, like, I'll bring you back to the light. Like, she was going to, like, help her get past this. And then got fucking stabbed in the throat. And it wasn't quick. It was like a little cut. And then she stood there and she clawed at her hands. And I was like...
that was fucking brutal.
And at that point, you're just like, maybe she's going to get out of this, right? She's going to get out of this. The only decent person in this world. Nope. And that's a good attention to detail with the scratching of the hands, because you see that later on. Like, you see her, scratched hand marks, like, throughout, like, everything. It's just...
They keep it, they continuity-wise, they make sure to keep that in.
You know what I didn't like? I will say about the first episode, I guess jumping back to the beginning, is I didn't like how they opened it. I didn't like the reveal that it's going to be a building on fire and they're going to jump off together.
Yeah, it was fucking dumb. I agree.
Because I don't think
it started like so many bad animes have started. Like, oh my god, where they're like, it's me and you forever and everything is broken. Like, how many have we watched that are like that? It started and I was like, oh god. It reminded me of fucking Handshakers because they're holding hands just like Handshakers.
Handshakers starts at the end too, if you remember Handshakers.
Yeah, it's fucking not a good thing to do. You're not in good company with that strategy.
There's no reason, because then it just ruins the momentum, like, going forward. Like, because it's going to end with them on this building on fire and them going to jump off in some way or another. Like, that's coming, and that's just kind of... Because I'm not thinking what's going to happen next. I'm thinking, how are they going to get to the building on fire at the top? So I just thought that was the one misstep in that pilot episode. Because I agree that pilot episode is really strong.
Doesn't it do that in that one anime that we liked? The women?
Valkyrie Drive Mermaids?
Madoka Magica.
Madoka Magica, yeah.
But that's better.
Even then, though, I don't think that's a strong start. Like, that's a strong anime, but starting at the beginning, I think they should, even in that one, I think they could choose a stronger choice.
Sort of makes sense in terms of, if like you're trying
that
to...
one does. That one...
trying to hook an audience, like it, I mean, I see why writers do it. I just don't think it's...
Well, with Madoka, you can make the excuse that it's not starting at the end. It's
in Madoka,
it's doing the other timeline leading to the new one.
It does for sure make more sense thematically in Madoka for sure.
Than this though. There's no reason, because even when you think they're I had no doubt in my mind that they weren't going to get on that plane. They're like, oh, we're going to get on this plane, we're going to get away. I'm like, no, you're not, because you have to end up at the top of that building while it's on fire.
Yeah.
So
and she knew. It's like, I thought she didn't know that the ant was going to set things on fire, but when she mentions it, she's like, she clearly knows it was her aunt, and she's not very surprised that everything's on fire now. So she made the choice to go back there for that ring in a very lackadaisical manner, knowing that, oh, we have time before my aunt sets everything on fire. I mean, granted, they would have made it if weird bandaged, gross, homeless dude didn't show up at the lobby.
Wearing bandages
because he got beat up by thugs early on.
No, he
had them
on his hands.
Yeah, he's wearing them everywhere. So does like the ants too. I get that because she's beaten up by all of her lovers, but like he's been around for this anime takes place over the course of kind of a long time.
It's like a month.
like he just has all these bandages. It's just weird looking, and he sleeps on one bench. Like he just
And it's weird to put him in the same like thematic category as the ant because he has the bandages and so does she. So then like your brain kind of relates the two together, which is not good because they're not the same at all. Like it is, yeah. I don't like that part either. I didn't agree with that.
A dumb thing with the brother is that he always goes and sleeps on the bench, right? But we're shown that the mom has an apartment.
Yeah, but the dad's body is probably still rotting there.
No, that's a different apartment.
That's a different apartment.
The bench is comfy.
I'm like, why doesn't he just go back to the
because he sleeps
apartment?
underneath the bench. He's not on the bench. He's underneath it. And then for some reason, Shoko's just like, I find this smelly guy very attractive.
Like, get off of my bench! And she's like, I like him. I like this guy.
I like his spirit.
This is going to sound bad at first when I bring this up, but...
I love it when you start sentences like that.
I mean, well, this is something pertaining to you, Kobe, is that you have expressed before that you like it when an anime brings up the topic of, like, sex. Not, like, because you want to see it, but because you want, like, the world to address that it exists.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It is just because it's like when anime characters talk about like dating and stuff or just anything, it's like they sometimes tend to avoid like relationships with sex in them, and it's like that's it's kind of relationshipy. So you're right. Wait, I just wanted to clarify. It's just like I like it when they talk about sex, but I just like it when they act kind of like real world type of things that who've had past relationships and probably have had sex before.
Mm-hmm. And so this
I think that's fair.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's something that it wasn't like calling him out, but it was bringing up the fact that in this they do say that, like Shoko and I never remember her name. Pink
Setao?
Setao. Sato. We'll go with Sato. Both of them, like they've referenced her hooking up with guys, and even like Sato offering like her body as payment to the painter.
Mm-hmm.
So. Kind of showing that
it exists.
Yeah, it exists, but also that disconnect that she has with like sex and love, like where she'll sleep with anybody.
It's such a nice message behind this because she's a woman who's a psychopath and who has no feelings whatsoever and can't connect with anybody because she's abused, because she has a horrible aunt, because of everything. And then she finds someone who sparks a connection in her and they fall in love and she wants to protect him. It just sucks that it's a little girl. Like, because overall that message is strong, but the execution of it is just like...
She also goes to great lengths to keep that person around her that might not, be agreeable with most those lengths.
I was trying to think of a body count by the end of this, and it's 4, right? Because she kills Shoko, she kills the painter, and then she kills those 2 guys in the park.
Yeah.
I like how the 2 guys in the park were just waved over. Like, they were just like, oh yeah, don't go to the park. These 2 guys got their eyes gouged out. This sucks for them.
Man, she might not have killed both of them.
Well, they said that they...
Oh, yeah, doesn't it say later it's like 2 men were killed? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so it's like, that was, like, she killed 4 people to make sure that she could stay with this girl.
Who she loved.
Mm-hmm.
That's love. It's true love,
The teacher, when you were talking about end credit sequences, the teacher, I thought, probably had, like, an after-credits scene that resolved his story arc, because I didn't see him for the last 3 episodes. I'm not going back. Amazon has made this too tough. I wrote an ending in my head for him. I'm like, he got arrested. And then he got arrested at the end.
And then he got arrested.
I'm like, oh.
It was weird that he didn't factor into anything because I think the show did a good job at the end of like driving all the characters to the apartment building and then they all kind of meet. It's like, oh, this is pretty crazy. Like they all have this motivation for being there and now they're all bouncing off one another, which is really cool. And now this building's on fire. It creates these really good stakes. But the teacher is like, we can't fit him in. We already have this blonde psychopath. So
we don't need another one.
That's another thing too, where for Toya, or Toya, probably not Toya. That's probably a different anime. No,
Toya.
Tayo. With Tayo, like starts out as a nice guy who seems pretty on the up and up, and then he gets locked in a cupboard and like raped for days.
Yeah, by an older woman.
By
See,
an older
he's
woman.
the sad one because he's the only one. Everyone's like a psychopath before the show starts. This one, we literally see him turn into one because of the trauma given to him, like because of what happens to him. It doesn't justify anything that he does because he's a creepy psychopath.
Yeah.
But then at the end, it's like then it's just I don't know what I felt when I felt like he's got stuck in a room with the aunt and he's being abused again. Like the one thing that traumatized
Both of
him.
them, not the worst thing to happen to you.
I mean, they're not.
Definitely
bad
didn't agree with that. Like the aunt and the lady, I would have been like,
I don't know. That aunt
Okay.
lives in squalor. She lives in filth.
yeah,
Like,
that's
filth.
true.
It's gross.
She might not have been the best, but I mean, no one was like immediately repulsed by her, so maybe she
Yeah.
keeps a good,
I don't know.
presence,
Good
but
presence.
she just keeps
Showers
trashing
daily.
her.
Just not a
Yeah.
good cleaner.
He was in the trash room though when that happened. I was more
They just
in
love
agreement
trash.
with the cop, because then it's like just in the front room. But her doing it in the trash room with that kid was probably a lot worse.
I don't know if I looked away, but did it show the cop again? Because I know
It
she had
just
the hat.
He
It
has
just
his
showed his
hat.
hat,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it implies that he came back.
He came back, yeah.
I
'Cause
would go back.
I thought that was a tasteful way to show that, like saying it without saying it. Like she had the hat,
Yeah.
back. And then she also mentions that she talked to him, and he didn't mention he mentioned that there wasn't a name.
Missing persons or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was
for
good.
that call.
She's like my new boyfriend, cop guy.
Who comes here and just does whatever he wants. They let that, I would imagine, female cop, like, while that scene was happening, I'm just surprised she didn't jump in sooner, because she's, like, coming on to this cop doing all
That
this
was
thing.
true.
Yeah,
She let that go on for a long ass time.
She's like, wait.
I had
I want
that
to see how this,
same-
I want to see how this plays out.
I had that same thought.
she's just
She's just sitting there like, wait, she's okay. She's on top of my partner. This is fine. Like, no, it's not.
this is fine until my partner tries to hit her. Now it's not.
It's like, now I can't.
All right.
The teacher got arrested for the aiding the disposing of the body, right? Not the,
Did we ever get a feeling for that?
no, he just got arrested, and he was going like, "This is bad."
Yeah, probably just because he's a creepy psychopath.
That is a creepy
They
teacher.
might have just figured out he's a creepy psychopath.
And then he's fine. Everyone else, and then Tayo just didn't have any resolution. He just still remained in his room, freaked out.
Yeah, and
She has a horrible mother, by the way. If the mom is not recognizing just how messed up his son is, like, oh, pardon my son. He's so nice of him. His friends to come by. He's just up in his room around these 1,000 posters of this little missing girl, and he's talking about being pure. He's fine. Like,
this is normal teenager behavior.
normal teenage behavior. I'm the best mom.
You come to hang out with my son. Yeah, he's up in his room doing his stuff.
Him and his
Normal
posters.
teenagers things.
Posters.
I mean, parents in general for this anime seem to be just not great. Like the whole family life for Shio and Asahi wasn't great.
Does
But-
also hit the kid, the boy?
Yeah, the boy.
Is that bandages?
Yes.
Yeah.
The,
Homeless, dirty bench boy.
Yes. Sorry, he was abused for his entire life and then had to become homeless. Ugh. What an
And
asshole.
dirty. Don't forget that part.
Dirty. What a dick. How dare he?
But at least he has his bat.
Which he got out of nowhere. Like he just had a bat one episode.
We bet he wished he had that bad much earlier in the
Yeah,
anime.
maybe he wouldn't have gotten beat
He's
up by
getting
those
the
two guys.
shit beat out of him.
Those two guys were the most hilarious thing. I texted Jake this line because there is such a random line, and the way they deliver it. I don't know if just it was so unexpected. It's like the punks in the park. They take a flyer and they know that he's looking for the missing girl, and they like see the missing girl. I think, or they're like, this is the girl that this is the little girl that guy in the park was talking about. We should call him and kick his ass. like why?
Get him over here so we can
Get
kick
over
his
here.
ass.
So we can
We'll
kick his
show
ass
him.
again.
I didn't like how good it felt when we kicked his ass the first time, so we need to kick his ass again.
One thing, I think it's a Pro ZD video where he talks about how anime does this thing where they don't know how to write children, where they'll be overly mature and they'll speak like in sentences that children wouldn't say, and it kind of hit really hard in the last episode where Shio was protecting her and just busting out monologues of things that children would not say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 9 years old.
Especially
for a kid who's
because-
been trapped inside.
Yeah, especially because the characterization of Shio up till then was just like, hi, blah, 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 hello, do-do-do-do-do-do. And then she's like, this is how it's going to be. You're like, wait a second.
Like, what? Like, this
Love
is mom
is a
love.
concept of the heart.
Yeah.
I believe it was Socrates who said the famous phrase.
Like, weren't you just the other one that would, like, touch people's head and go, boo-boo, bye-bye, boo-boo, bye-bye?
Exactly. I'm like, she shouldn't be talking like this. This is how she's... One, it's not how children talk, it's also how she's not been talking the entire time.
Because she's insane, because she draws demon people inside her closet. Two, I could have sworn, like, I kind of bet the scene when, after I think she kills Shoko, and after Satao kills Shoko, and she's, like, passed out and sleeping for, like, days, there's a scene like, I'm going to do all these chores. Like, and then she just starts, like, cleaning, and then she starts cooking her favorite curry, like, put everything in curry. I thought she was going to light the house on fire, and I kind of thought that was where the fire was going to start. Because there's clearly a shot of her turning on the gas oven and the gas turning on, her looking at it, and her saying, I don't know what goes in it, so I'm going to put everything in it. While I read my advanced physics book or something.
That's that 1 week where she had to do the chores. That's where she escalated in IQ.
Yeah.
The scribbled out face, mom, like the way that like she can't see her mom, like in her memories, is because of that. Was very Doki Doki.
Yeah.
Was very like oh, look at all this cute stuff
like
happening. Oh my god.
I didn't like Scribble Monster Dad as much as I like Scribbled Face Mom.
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought
Mom was
Scribble Monster Dad was
face.
kind of...
Dad was like a literal monster, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck! That reminded me. The abuse that he does to forget the kid. He gets his nails ripped off.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. Oh, I
looked
could barely
away.
watch that. I couldn't. That scene.
That part was really... Yeah, oof. That was... Oof.
Like, weirdly, it's a small scene, but a scene that has stuck with me forever is from Lost when they tie up Sawyer and they stick bamboo under his fingernails.
Yeah.
Sticks with me forever. Like, I'm just like, I would never
It's
want
so sharp.
anything in my life to happen like that. And then I watched this, and I'm like, oh no. I
had
looked
blocked
away.
that out of my head until you reminded
Sawyer's
me of it
tough.
again.
He can take it.
He did take it.
He did
Cleared
take
his
it.
sinuses. He's like, he's got a cold. He's starting to feel better.
What?
Anyway, that's what he says.
That's what he says.
Oh, that's what he said.
That's it. He's like screaming. He's like, "Don't stop! I got a cold. My sinuses are clearing." Like while he's screaming.
Damn, Sawyer, he's badass, man.
It's awesome. I want to talk about the mom's plan for a second because it's revealed at the end that Shio's mom. It's revealed at the end by the brothers. Like, she didn't abandon you. She just didn't want to become like the dad because once she hit her, she realized that was a thing now. But like her method of going about that was just like, I don't want to become like my husband, my abusive husband. So I'm going to leave you in the middle of the street somewhere in an alley.
Yeah.
That makes me good.
She didn't
I made a
abandon
good
you. She just didn't want to be like Dad, so she abandoned
So
you.
she abandoned you.
That's the same thing,
And the
dude.
brother's like, oh wait, no, she is bad. My bad.
And then the little girl's like, hold on a second, that's the same thing. And you're like, where did this come from, little girl? The fuck?
Well, that's the thing too. Like the dad just because in Asahi's story, he's like, well, he just died, and then it's revealed that the mom came in and poisoned him, and then he
Different.
died.
Different things.
And so you're like, okay, all right. And then he goes, you need to come back and hold mom's hand before she gets arrested, and then we become actual orphans.
So yeah. So what's the timeline of events? The mom. When did they left. Shio and the mom left the abusive dad. Shio and the mom. Shio's mom hit her, abandoned her, and then she went back and murdered the dad.
with no one knowing, because when Asahi comes back from the store, his dad's just dead.
So what was her end game? Like why would she abandon her daughter in the middle of the street in a dark alley somewhere just to go kill the dad? Like what was?
So that
No
way,
witnesses.
well, they make a big deal.
Yeah, explain that to me, Columbo.
They make a big deal that Asahi needs to come back to them for her to like be whole, So maybe that's what she did, was kind of like she knew she was going to be abusive, so she abandoned Shiho, and then she killed the dad in hopes that Asahi will come back and then kind of set her right, and then they can grab Shiho. But, maybe just drop her off at your parents' house.
Yeah, that whole part doesn't make any sense.
Maybe take her to daycare.
It's like, yes, I abandoned
her at
you,
home
but
and go
please
kill the
come
dad and
back
come
to
back.
me. Like, what? I get it. I would get it if she abandoned her and she didn't want her to come back because she was afraid of what she'd become. But that's not what it is. It's like she abandoned her and she wants her to come back. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe Asahi doesn't get it and he thinks that the mom wants her to come back, but the mom actually doesn't because the mom's afraid of that she's a monster. And he's just like overly,
It's because he's
Positive?
delusional. Because the mom's like, "Hey, honey, do you need money to buy an apartment?" He's like, "No, I already have a great place to live." Like,
she's like,
everything's
"Where's
great.
that, honey?" And he's like, "Oh, under the old bridge."
The old bench. I made some great friends. These two guys who come beat my ass all the time.
They're my best friends.
You're a bench in the park.
Sometimes this blonde guy just grabs my posters and stares at them.
He brings the blue-haired chick there, and he like sits down under there, and he taps the ground next to him, and he goes, "It's not much, but it's mine."
But it's yeah.
Yeah, just weird story choices when you really just bring it up.
Did you like? I didn't like it. I wish they would have died at the end. I don't understand. I get the concept of them going off the bridge and then while in mid-fall, Sato learning the value of love and realizing that love is doing stuff for other people, or just like being like, I want to die for you so you can live because this isn't, love. And then kind of shielding herself so they both...
Love is patient, love is kind,
Sure. Yeah, but I'm just saying her coming to that realization and then like, the physics of that, they should both be dead.
They should.
I don't think a
even
teenage
if she
girl's
blocked the body.
could
it's not gonna
absorb
help.
all the impact.
Well, then again, little kids are pretty bendy.
And they're light.
It might just be that she's a little kid and she just lived because little kids can live that kind of shit.
But I wish that, because I just wish they both would have died there.
I thought that was what happened.
I actually... Go ahead.
I was so surprised to see that one of them had survived. I was like, what?
You're like, oh. Yeah, and then she turns into, a new Sato, a weird, different, kind of crazy person.
Sure.
I actually would have preferred
Is inside.
and this goes into, normally after we talk about parts of the anime that are bad and good, we kind of talk about what we do to fix it. And I guess this kind of falls under that category for me, it'd be fine to show that fall jump in the beginning. If you go all the way to the end, and then you have that exact scene happen again, but then you show that Shio's still on the building and she had pushed Sato.
She pushed her instead. That would have been good.
It shows that her brother got to reached out to her and it worked, and she realized that Sato's crazy because or if you showed that Shio was slowly kind of realizing that Sato was insane and this isn't what love is.
I think it kind of made sense that she only liked Sato, though. I mean,
It
everybody
made
else
sense,
she'd
sure.
ever known was fucking horrible to her. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, sure, this is a crazy person, but you don't know any better. This is the only person that's ever been nice to you.
She's only crazy to other people, but she's the perfect partner, Yeah,
because her brother got, separated from them before she was older, right?
Yeah,
or something
she was,
like that?
really cognitive. Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, for this to play out would be something along that, where basically she kind of, and to also give Shio some redeeming quality instead of turning her into a next crazy person. Sequel is to have her push her off and be like that, and then you kind of go, oh, what we saw at the beginning was her delusion of what happened. It's she chose to jump with me, and then we'll die together happy. But then she's like, oh.
No, she's crazy. My brother with the bat was just like, don't go with her. And then she was like, he's making a lot of sense.
Retort, and Sato's just like, I got nothing.
She was like, maybe I will become a killer, but not today. And
I
she's
like-
Vin Diesel, actually.
I like Sato's choice of just like, okay, this guy has a bat. I need to get across from him. I'm just gonna try to run.
I'm just gonna try to run by him. Hopefully this was. Oh!
Oh, he hit me into the window. Oh, and I cut myself on the glass.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he'd like somehow because it looked like he hit her over the head, and then all of a sudden her leg was bleeding. I was like, how did
Yeah, I thought she'd cut herself on the window too.
that make sense?
Like he hits her.
If he
and
made
then
her
she
bleed with a
smashes.
bat, that's a severe injury.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's a compound. That's a compound fracture. Jeez. Yeah. No,
Why did the ant light everything on fire?
Because that was the goal. They had to get rid of the body, and
Oh, because they're trying to make it seem like Shoko killed her. Because isn't that what it looked like? That she was the one who was actually dead?
yeah,
yeah. And then the ant had started a fire and stuff. The ant was going to go down for everything, right?
yeah. The ant was going to always go down for starting the fire, so it was supposed to be like the ant lit it on fire, and then Sato died in it. Like they were going to use Shoko's body as Sato. Like she dressed her up in Sato. Sato dressed her up in her clothes, which was dumb because at the end it's revealed that they were able to ID it as Shoko anyway, so it would never have worked.
The police are just like, yeah, they did something real stupid. They did the clothes, but the clothes were all burnt up, so we used, DNA.
DNA evidence. I thought that was a really good scene where Asahi breaks into the apartment while it's on fire and sees Shoko's body just laying there and get lit up. I thought that was nice.
I always thought he was stupid. I thought he was going to do something stupid, like go try to save her. Like he's like, oh, she's still alive. Like I need to go save her. Glad he didn't do
No,
that.
he was like,
I really like the scene, like when he first revealed that they're in different apartments, and she leads Shoko to her aunt for the first time. It's
And you're like, whoa.
because she leads Shoko there, and like they're at the door, and the cops are there, and then creepy psychotic teacher is like around the corner, like just yelling and screaming to
Just
himself.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But it's
I
like-
thought it was her aunt that was dead, which I assume that was
Yeah.
the goal
Yeah.
of the show, was to make you think it was her aunt that was dead.
Yeah, and it's just
Um,
like, oh, it's a random guy upstairs. But it's just like, that's such a good scene in terms of character mode, because it's like, you want to like, what's Shoko going to do here? What's Sato going to do here? What are the cops going to do? What's the creepy teacher around the corner going to do? Like, how is this going to resolve itself?
That was a good like midpoint. I think after that, they had like that mid climax in that moment, and then after that we had a long lull of like a lot of nothing, which is common with the animes.
Yeah, it got a little repetitive in terms of just like Sato and Shio expressing their love for one
Yeah.
another. Like nothing really growing from their relationship, just them realizing more and more that they love each other.
They could have cut a lot of that out.
I think that's why they sprinkled in those really artistic scenes, like the opening of episode 8 and the other stuff, because of Philo. I thought that was I thought the tension was good in that scene that you bring up too, Kobe. Just because like they go out of their way to show that she installed a new lock at the bottom of the door, and so when she drops her keys to go pick them up, I thought 100%. I was like, they have to be at the apartment because she's unlocking the bottom of the door.
So what was the signal? Like, so it's like when she drops her keys outside, that's when the aunt needs to open the door?
Yeah,
Or
it's letting her know that it's someone.
That's her.
That's her. Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe like that's what all of her like lovers do because I'm wondering if she's like a weird prostitute, and so
Yeah, but she doesn't charge anything.
Definitely a prostitute.
She's not a prostitute. I bet she does not charge money.
well, I mean, it doesn't look like she has a job. So, and she gave Sato a ton of money at the end. So
Yeah, but her lifestyle doesn't seem like she asked for money from it because she lives in filth.
maybe they just
I didn't see
throw
it.
money at her at the end of it. They're just like, here you go. I feel dirty.
I guess take this.
Take this. I'm sorry. She's like, don't be. No, all right. Okay.
Don't be.
Had it good,
That's getting
Jack.
worse. I'll see you. I'll see you next week.
Same title, Pencil Yang. I wish she had like this really. It's like sure she seems very sloppy and crazy and stuff, but she actually has a very organized system of payments. Like she's like she has like a Patreon and like Venmo and it's like everything and an assistant that schedules all of her meetings and everything.
She just gets like an ice pack. Like she has like a cooler with ice packs. She just puts on her face. She's like, don't forget to subscribe to my OnlyFans. All right. So,
She's like, so sometime next week. She's like, call the number and we'll get it set up. Okay.
like, I don't like doing that. I don't like doing verbal stuff because I'll forget. You'll forget. Like just
Get it in emails.
It just takes a weird turn in the scene. She's just super professional, and then they walk out, and then she goes, "This is my type of."
Hello, I'm sad. I got to be professional. Hello, thanks for coming in. Would you like a mint and a sanitary wipe, and then we'll get to business.
Here's some cucumber water. I have to talk to my niece. If you want to just wait in the room, I'll be right in there.
Pretty sure she just murdered someone. She really needs help right now. But yeah, just take a seat right here in the waiting room. And this is the Zen Garden, and we can get started here in a minute.
Here's your number on the board up there. When your number appears, you can call back.
Come get me. I'm going to have to cancel your appointments for next week. I'm lighting this apartment on fire.
Sorry. 50% refund.
And you get a coupon for if I relocate. And
No, you will not get your deposit back.
Them the brakes, kid.
Give me that
Oh,
show.
Yeah.
So I think we pretty much talked about Happy Sugar Life as much as we could.
I just want to know, was there any character, besides Shoko, any of the crazy people? Did you like any of the crazy people?
No,
I don't really like any of them per se. I thought they were all most of the time a little crazy for no reason. Maybe not crazy for no reason. I definitely thought they liked that little kid too much for no reason. That's just a normal ass little kid. It's not a magic kid or anything.
She plays Val. I wish she was. I kind of wish it took a turn where she was actually like hypnotizing like everybody who came into her orbit. Like I had that thought for like 1 second, like while watching. Like that'd be cool.
You're like, she's magic, and that's why.
Yeah.
No, I found myself pretty much in like every altercation, just kind of rooting for both sides. Like when Asahi stops her, I'm like, hit her with the bat! Hit her with the bat! And then like Shio grabbed the glass shard. I'm like, do it! I'm like,
does everybody die?
Stab him, yeah.
Like I'm not rooting for anyone. Like even with the punks in the park, where she's like, come on, get closer. I'm like, stab that one, then get punched in the face by the other one. But it's still win, I guess, because we're only on episode 5.
Yeah, we need you to win this one.
But at least get hurt doing it. Like I'm just rooting for violence. I guess.
Fair enough.
I guess something else I could bring up is the name. Happy Sugar Life seems like it's just created for this for this show, because they say it a lot. Like there's a lot of like roll credits like scenes because she constantly goes like, I need to have my happy sugar life, and it's not like a common phrase. So I just thought it was like, it's weird that they had to work, like why not pick a common phrase like happily ever after. Like, I need my happily ever after.
Because it fits with the context of these horrible looking candies in a jar. Like, and it's just
I didn't like any of that stuff either.
Because that was the point of it, right? Like, she got candy as a kid, and she loved it, and that was, like, her only good part of it, like, something that she could hold on to, so she was just like, I want that in my life again.
Yeah, she needs the sugar, I guess. So I guess that makes sense.
And by sugar, she means little girls.
And and the whole jar, thing, like, the whole jar... Everyone starts seeing jars on each other and stuff, and then the little girl sees jars and her mom, and it's like, what the up with all these jars?
Why does, that's another thing, too. Shio is apparently intelligent enough to come up with, an analogy for the human
jar
heart,
metaphor,
which is a jar, and to say that her mom's jar is going to break. Again, she becomes really intelligent out of nowhere. And also, it just so happens to be that she comes up with the exact same analogy as Sato for...
about jars of candy. It's like, yeah, that's why
they're meant to be, Jake.
Exactly. If it's surprisingly reminding, I don't know if you guys watched. Do you guys ever watch Hannibal?
I did not.
No.
It's so, because there's a scene about in Hannibal where Mads Mikkelsen talks about there's a teacup, and that's like his perfect thing. He likes to watch it on the floor and it gets shattered. And like once it's shattered, are you able to put the pieces back together again? And if you are, it's never quite the same. And in the season 2 finale, when there's a bunch of murdering happening, they talk about like, I put my teacup back together. Like it's like I put it back together, but it's different. And I just wanted to share that because it reminded me of the show about talking about jars and candy.
Happy Sugar. If you like Hannibal, watch Happy Sugar Life.
If you like David Lynch and Hannibal, go watch Happy Sugar Life.
This is the show for you.
100%.
I
feel like Happy Sugar Life is just getting this really good expectation that it can no longer live up to.
Nope, it's going to meet every single one of your expectations. Aim high, and you still are going to be surprised.
Shoot for the moon, because you'll still end up around the stars, right?
Yeah.
Happy Sugar Life?
Happy Sugar Life. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get out of spoilers and get into our reviews. All right, welcome back. If you skipped the spoiler section, highly recommend you go check that out. After we talk about spoilers, we like to give our reviews. And this is actually something I forgot to do at the beginning of this video, so I'm going to do it now, because there's actually some interesting stuff about this. I normally talk about some of the background for the anime. So Happy Sugar Life currently has a score of 7.02 on my anime list, which
It's pretty high.
pretty high for our show, but still pretty low for a lot of anime.
Yeah, that's what I meant. High for your show.
It came out in 2018 alongside shows such as the summer of 2018, alongside shows such as Cells at Work, Attack on Titan Season 3, Banana Fish, and an anime that Kobe has watched, Hanbado.
Oh yeah, the
Badminton anime.
Badminton anime. Really good. Another show about a psychopath. Like that one's actually
Interesting.
That was really good. And then it was made by Studio Isola, which brought us shows such as Are You Lost, which is a 12-minute episode anime about girls who get shipwrecked and have to live on the island, and it kind of gives you a survival facts type deal.
Is it funny?
It's funny. It's at one point, in the first episode, the girl who's the survivalist uses her shirt to catch a flying fish because they need drinkable water, and they're like, "Oh, how is catching a flying fish going to help?" She goes like this, and she wraps it up in her shirt and crushes it. And they're like, "Why'd you do that?" And then she wrings her shirt and drinks the blood from it, and she goes, "That's how you get liquid and moisture from living beings. I'll catch another one, and you guys can drink it." And they're like, "No," because they're all hyped.
That sounds fun.
It's fun.
I don't know if I wanted that anime to have a darker twist to it, because I imagine a bunch of girls shipwrecked on an island from this studio. It's like, oh, they're all psychopaths. Lord of the Flies style. But I guess that's fine, too.
No, it's much cuter. It is directed by Kizo Kuzakawa, who also directed Aho Girl, which is, again, a short-form anime about a girl who is really dumb and is hilarious. So, again, really weird. Everything up to this seems like it's only this studio and this guy's only super serious work. And he also did storyboards for Domestic Girlfriend, which is an anime that Anthony got really into, that came out, and is about people will talk about it a lot because it's just smut. Because
is it about a domestic girlfriend?
It's about a guy who has a crush on his teacher, but then goes out with a group of friends and sleeps with it, and meets this girl and sleeps with her, and then comes home one day and his dad goes, "Hey, I got married, and this woman has 2 daughters." And he goes, "Okay," and it's his teacher, and also the other daughter is the girl that he slept with, and so now
Sounds like Andy's type of anime.
yeah, so then he has to live with these 2 women who he has.
What a crazy situation!
But apparently
man, how's it gonna get out of
But
this
apparently it's
one?
hot and steamy, and Anthony loved it.
Hot and steamy.
Yeah, so that's just
How dare you tell me how to spell it?
what domestic
Girlfriend. Got it.
How dare you? Is that D? Domestic? Yeah, so that's just some of the background on it. I forgot to do that at the beginning, normally like to do that. But anyway, let's get to our reviews. And Kobe, since you're our guest here, you're going to go last.
I remembered that this time. Didn't fall for it.
I thought about making you go first, and then you just be like, "God damn it." All right, so DJ, how about you start us off?
This anime has some weak points for sure. Definitely goes through some very lulls of episodes. Its highs are very high, but its lows are dreadfully boring. If you didn't listen to the spoiler part, and this sounds like something you'd enjoy, definitely give it a shot. Honestly, it's hard to recommend just because of the boring parts, but those boring parts do help drive the story a little bit as far as getting you more time with the characters, learning a little bit more about their backstories. I think this one is a find.
You a find? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were.
Wow.
I thought you were throwing it right in the recycling bin. No.
We didn't explain
think-
these ratings.
I think when it's bad, it's When it's bad, it is driving the story. It is doing a purpose. When it's boring and it's bad, that part at least is serving somewhat of a purpose. And for that, I think it just breaks barely into the find category.
Okay, and
which is rare for me because these animes all fucking suck.
That is super rare. That's so. I think the only finds you get were the animes that we watched because
that
they
might
were
be
good.
a first, not because it was good anime find.
Yeah,
I'm so happy I'm here for this and not the other guy, Anthony.
So Kobe brought it up, and I can't believe I forgot to do it. But I guess we should definitely explain it since DJ just gave it. On Anime Dumpster Dive Podcast, we like to give one of three ratings to an anime. The first one being trash, which is an anime is bad, has no redeeming qualities, and should actually be avoided. The second one we have is the recycling bin, where we find the anime to have some redeeming qualities. Maybe it's not a perfect anime or it's not a good anime, but it has an audience that will enjoy it, and so if you have interest in it, you should watch it. And then finally, there's a find. And a find is an anime that is overall good, doesn't deserve the rep, like the rep it gets. You should go add it to your plan to watch list immediately.
Maybe not that. Maybe don't add it immediately.
Maybe don't. I mean, you can add.
If
it
you haven't watched it, go pause it, go
Well,
check it out,
no,
and then come back.
I mean, you can add things to your plan to watch list immediately. It doesn't mean you're going to watch it anytime soon.
Fair enough.
Like,
I have so many things on my Netflix to watch list that I added about 4 or 5 years ago.
I said I was going to watch Bodacious Space Pirates like 2 years ago when I did a video. I haven't watched Bodacious Space Pirates. There's too many animes out. Man.
And anime. What about Doom Patrol, Jake?
Yeah, people, I've watched the People Like Us scene numerous times.
Yeah, that's what makes it so frustrating.
I really like that scene. I really like that cover of People Like Us. Anyway, my turn. This anime, like DJ said, when it's good, it's good. There's a lot of stylistic choices that work really well with this anime and really help propel it forward. Some of the characters are hard to get behind, but you can't say they're cardboard cutouts. They're interesting. They hold their own weight to them. The overall story for it, not necessarily my cup of tea, and the overarching message isn't great. It still is able to get me watching it and to hold my attention. And this is going to be an anime I talk about and recommend to people for a while. I'm calling it a find as well.
There you go. I mean, mine mostly boils down to the fact that I have put much, much worse animes in the recycling bin. So, something's got to give. Something has to eventually be a find, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, for me, when I say find, it's one where it's interesting, it's not bad, and it can it's a fun one to talk about.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Kobe, take us home.
I think this is tough. I go back and forth between find and recycling bin. I think overall, I have to put it in the recycling bin, not because it's as bad as I think it is. It's because its first episode is actually so good, in the way that it sets up its story and its style. And although there are some really big highlights throughout the rest of the course of these episodes, stylistically and artistically and character-wise, that I really like, I don't think it matches the energy and the message kind of put forward in that first episode. If I watch the anime from the style that the first episode put forward, this would be one of my favorite animes because it's I love that tone and that atmosphere. And because it doesn't follow through on that, I can't say that's this is you have to watch this. But it's steering on the edge, it's when your recycling bin and your find are next to each other, and you're throwing a piece of paper and it bounces in between the two and it falls and eventually falls into the other one. Mm-hmm. That's why it's a recycling bin for me. It's so close to being a find, I just can't say it because there's a lot of good in this anime. And overall, I can't say. I just feel dirty saying I'd like it. Because we didn't talk about the whole point of the show's about a girl who after being abused and everything with a bunch of men falls in love with a 9-year-old girl and does everything to protect her. That's the show. In
It's like
case
a
you don't
platonic
know,
love, though.
it's not. It is not. You're-
I like that we're all
It
dancing. Kobe's like, I'm tired of dancing around it. This is what it's about.
Yeah, we're saying like,
Platonic
oh,
is in
the
they don't
love that-
bang, right?
Well, you don't know that, but they're in the bathtub naked together, and they do all this wedding vow things together. Like it's
Yeah, they're married.
that's not helping your
Going
case.
on at all.
It still doesn't make it okay. No, I agree. I even told Kobe all the way up until like episode 8. I had no idea if I liked the show or not. It was like, I don't know if I'm liking this or not. There's just things that happen that I go, wow, and then there's this. But in the end, it's one of those ones where if someone's like telling me to to recommend an anime that isn't in the like doesn't fit traditional like anime stereotypes, I'm gonna say Happy Sugar Life because it is so different and it does have this interesting pull to it. Before that was School Days, and this is much better than School Days.
It is. It's a much better version. It is.
School Days does evoke a stronger reaction at the end, though, for me. Then
Yeah.
It does. School Days
is a slow burn to a what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. So, well, thank you so much for joining us, Kobe. Can you let us know where we can find you?
of course I can. You can find me on Nerd Blaze, another channel over there. I do stuff with my other co-founder, Jeff. We do weekly anime reviews. Right now we're doing Chihaya Faru, a sports anime that you should be watching. We also do a podcast occasionally called Anime Ricochet. Well, two dudes who know nothing about sports talk about sports anime. We'll get back to that any day now. And we do some... we do some other videos too, and both the Anime Ricochet ones. Both of these guys have been on it a few times, and it's great.
It's a fun
You
time.
gotta check it out.
Show. It's a great
It's a
time.
fun time.
Yeah, I was actually.
So thank you for having me.
Yeah, I was on one of your guys' Chihaya Faru ones pretty recently too, which was
Yeah,
which
just
was a lot of fun.
last week one.
I really liked that.
Yeah.
And DJ, because Anthony's not here and I have no other choice. Where can they
Well,
find us?
Where can
Yeah.
they find me? No way it's DJ on Twitch. No way _ it's DJ. I'm doing YouTube. I do hard achievements on YouTube, as well as recently edited video that is Twitch highlights of January. I just finished the edit today. So yeah, we're doing that. And then as far as where you can find me and Jake, in the highest mountains of the highest peaks of the Sierras. Actually, we're going on a 8-month long trek of the Great Sierra Peaks, and me and him. And so it's going to be a good time. I'm really excited. We're going to watch tons of anime while we're up there on our Sony PSPs. So yeah, we can text you. We can comment on the stuff while we're up there. So let us know. Let us know if you like it.
I like okay, my own personal branding. Let me go ahead and be very serious about where you can find me. Now this Sierra Mountains.
Well, the trip is happening still, right, Jake?
Yeah, definitely. I'll meet you up there, bud.
All right.
I didn't get an invite, but that's fine.
Jake,
Well,
you said you did invite.
so we're just replacing Anthony with Kobe forever now.
Yeah. Only in our Sierras trek. Anthony can't go. He has to pass his test.
But something that Anthony will be here for, and Kobe probably will not be, is next month, the anime that we're going to be reviewing for Anime Dumpster Dive is a Quiz Bowl anime with a current score of 6.77 on my anime list called...
Is 6 high?
No.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's out of 10, so it's a little higher. It's higher than a 5. And it's lower than Happy Sugar Life.
Didn't Handshakers have like a 7?
Yeah, Handshakers had like a 6.5.
Okay, then yeah, that's
so no,
trash.
it's not good. It's not high. It's not great. It's called Fastest Finger First, and this is actually an anime I had watched for Anime Ricochet with Kobe and Jeff.
I really wanted to watch that one with you guys.
Yeah, well,
We invited you. You were
I was
available.
very excited because Kobe and I are big fans of the Jeopardy.
Yes, we
Did
are.
you watch Greatest of All Time, Kobe?
Of course. Of course
Did
I
you love it the entire time?
I loved it.
Did
Riveting.
it blow you away when you realized they were going to play 2 games of Jeopardy every night? Because it
Yeah.
blew me away.
The structure of how they did that was great. Like I was curious going into it of how they were going to actually make this a fair tournament. Just like, oh, whoever wins 2 games in a row. But the way they structured it was wonderful. Even if Brad sucked ass.
Wow. Come on. He's so good, too. Like, wow.
Yes, he's much better. And James destroyed him on live television multiple times with money. Anyways,
Anyway,
yes,
this is the Jeopardy cast.
He had that one quote where he was like, Brad was the only one who had claimed the title before this tournament, so you need to give the man some respect. After he flamed him on television.
Yeah.
Brad scores.
Anime.
Oh, Brad Score stayed the same.
Brad's score's still up there.
Hey, yeah, Brad score's still up there. Anyway, anime. Fastest Finger first.
So Fastest Finger first. It was an anime that I'd watched on Anime Ricochet. You should go ahead and check that one out. I'm actually curious if my opinion of it is going to change on a rewatch, because like going in, no secrets, I enjoyed it a lot watching it.
Interesting.
So I'm curious if
So we're watching another good one.
hopefully
Possibly.
Anthony will be
Probably
there.
back.
You're probably gonna like it, DJ. It's
DJ.
about quiz.
Yeah, it's about quizzes
Oh.
and stuff. Hopefully
Like quizzes.
And hopefully Anthony will be back. If not, we can always bring in Kobe.
The pinch hitter, as I call him.
Oh, I like that.
All
Good
right,
old PH.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please leave a like. It does actually help out. Thank you.
Finger bang that motherfucking like button.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time.